Hello everyone, Thunder with Muffin here, and I thought of this unique idea that it would be cool to go over the history and evolution of military vehicles over time. This is very different to my channel, so you'll have to let me know what you think. But after much research, I learned some really cool things, and I hope this will be also cool for you. Let's go ahead and dive in. The evolution of military vehicles began with the simple chariots in ancient civilizations such as Egypt, dating back to 3000 BC, and are best defined as horse-drawn vehicles with two-spoked wheels that require their drivers and passengers, typically an archer, to stand while it's in motion. Around this time, combat ships were likely used, with the first recorded appearance of warships is on the Nile River, where long, narrow vessels powered by banks of oarsmen were designed to ram and sink enemy vessels, or to engage them bow first and follow up with boarding parties. Over the centuries, horse-drawn carriages and siege engines emerged, making their first appearance around 860 BC. Siege engines were used to break or circumvent heavy castle doors, thick city walls, and other fortifications in siege warfare. The earliest recorded use of a siege engine was in the form of a battering ram. The use of battering rams was followed by catapults and siege towers. However, siege engines had to wait another 500 years until around 350 BC to become a significant player in warfare. Around the 12th century, the first cannons were made, and in 1420 the war wagon was developed, which was a medieval development used to attack rebel or enemy forces on the battlefield. The crew of each wagon consisted of 18 to 21 soldiers, 4 to 8 crossbowmen, 2 handgunners, 6 to 8 soldiers equipped with pikes or flails, 2 shield carriers, and 2 drivers. The wagons would normally form a square, and inside the square would usually be the cavalry. However, wood cannot absorb cannonballs the way earth ramparts can. It would burst into deadly fragments, as poor sailors of the 18th century warships had experienced. About 400 years before tanks, in 1487, Da Vinci created the first designs of a possible tank. The armored vehicle was designed to intimidate the enemy rather than to be used as a serious military weapon. Due to the vehicle's impressive size, it would not be capable of moving on rugged terrain. The project could hardly be applied and realized in the 15th century. Up until 1815, technological combat vehicle improvements didn't advance much, and it was in this year the first steam-powered warship came into service. This led to the design of other steam-powered war machines, and in 1900 the first steam engine armored car was seen mounted with a cold gun and a rotating base. However, during the American Civil War in 1863, the first successful combat submarine was the CSS Hunley, which was powered by a hand crank, was almost 40 feet in length, and weighed 7.5 tons. This submarine was armed with one spar torpedo, which was a bomb placed at the end of a long pole or spar and attached to the boat. The weapon is used by running the end of the spar into the enemy ship. Spar torpedoes were often equipped with a barbed spear at the end so it would stick to wooden holes. A fuse could then be used to detonate it. Also during this war, 1,000-ton ironclad riverboats were also seen. These ironclads were developed in response to the vulnerability of wooden warships to explosive or incendiary shells. They marked a significant shift in naval warfare as they were steam-propelled and protected by iron or steel armored plates. In 1914 and throughout World War I, an explosion of military vehicles came into the scene, such as the first weaponized aircraft that had used a machine gun. Germans used Zeppelins to drop bombs on their targets, and the official first tank, being the British Mark I, was seen rolling out, marking the dawn of armored warfare. During this war, technological advancements played a crucial role in shaping the battlefield and influencing the outcome. As World War II broke out throughout 1939 to 1945, the demand for more military advancements became needed. Tanks and warships became bigger along with their guns. Half-tracks had the cross-country capabilities of a tank and the handling of a wheeled vehicle. Motorcycles were used, and planes became faster and equipped with more weaponry. Around 1943, the introduction of the first jet fighters were seen. Self-propelled artillery were developed along with others that transpired into one of the world's greatest military technological advancement periods. After World War II and going into others such as the Cold War, Vietnam into the 90s, the introduction of helicopters came into the scene. Tanks, warship, aircraft, and weaponry became improved with the use of computer technology. Half-tracks and casemate tank destroyers phased out, and amphibious vehicles were used in combat during this time. Modern military vehicles from 2000 to today still use tanks, jets, helicopters, warships, and others that span across air, ground, and sea, but with the latest and greatest in technology advancements to help them dominate in their field. Hope you all enjoyed this video of the evolution of combat vehicles from the beginning to today, and you all stay cool and keep tanking, sailing, or flying.